Hello trainers, Kaneto here, and today we're diving together into Fantasy Cup with some battles submitted by TheRealKouna, who is an amazing member from our Greek community here in my area. So we're gonna have a lot of action with Galar and Weezing today, a Registeel and something like a Giratina, but who cares about it? It's all about the Weezing. I think that Weezing is gonna work pretty nicely on any level of battling that you're gonna use it right now on the early battles that you're gonna have on the new season. So Galar Weezing definitely a very nice core breaker for those steel types and the dragons. So here comes the play rough, and now the overhit will connect, or I think they are gonna block it because they still have one shield on that scissor. After that though, they can farm us down, which is a bummer. Those bullet punches hurt a lot, and we have the perfect Pokemon for the end game, and that is not the Togekiss but instead the Giratina on its origin form, because now we can deal even more damage than any other threat to this Giratina altered, and right after we can always farm down, which means that they have to spend some energy here if they want to have the upper hand. It is gonna be the X-Scissor, but unfortunately we cannot reach to the Shadow Ball them off. However, I think we have energy on the Regi, so that is a very nice start for the video, and TheRealKouna is gonna grab his first victory. An Elite 4 member right now with the Excadrill up on the lead. Pretty excited to see this battle because this is an Elite 4 member, and after all we're facing a very bad counter for our team. So we cannot switch out obviously because we're still gonna struggle a lot with Galar and Weezing, while our Giratina is kinda glassy for the Ultra League format since it is gonna be on the origin form, and we do not like those odds. Giratina now going in, they respond with a tap of on the switch immediately, and that is pretty cool for us right now. We are not the altered but instead the origin, which means that the damage output is crazy, so we just need to block once the Moonblast, and perhaps right after we can farm down. Let's see how TheRealKouna wants to play this. Yeah, trying to farm down but with a different Pokemon. Gonna charge up to almost a Shadow Ball I believe, then bank it for the end game. Try to block the next move, and of course bring the Weezing into play with the overhit to grab this victory against the Excadrill. At the back there is gonna be a Weezing of their own, but you know what, a second overhit is coming up. They are not blocking this time. It is not gonna hurt that much because we are debuffed by a lot offensively, and they are trying to farm down. What are they doing? So they have to fire off the move. Here it is. What is it gonna be? Just the brutal swing, down we go, and now we have to block the next move. It is gonna be a super effective move, not enough to finish off I believe, but still not gonna risk it at all. Able to reach now to the Ominous Wind, and another one to secure this victory with the origin form of Giratina. Ominous Wind for the win into the next one. That was an Ominous Win, pretty bad pun, but anyways. So we're having the Empoleon, and obviously we have to go for those Zap Cannons, but TheRealKouna goes for the Focus Blast, trying to snipe it down immediately a little bit faster than the Zap Cannon, but the opponent doesn't fall for that. Let's see, another one for the victory. No, we're just gonna try and catch the move on the Giratina. Pretty nice catch, and having that energy for the end game while they respawn with a Shadow Gardevoir, and we got the Ominous Wind that they have to respect the damage. And I believe now that we have to go in with our Registeel and the Zap Cannon to finish off this Pokemon. Just gonna reach to the Focus Blast. Pretty interesting here. They can survive and buy a lot, but hopefully the enemy throws the move. Perhaps going for the Zap Cannon could have been the better choice, but I believe that on the other side of the coin, perhaps TheRealKouna didn't want the Empoleon to go in and start farming down on energy. Bad news here is that we have to throw the play rough and not the overhit, because after that we are gonna be debuffed. So let's see what they have at the back, what remains, and it is gonna be the Melmetal. Pretty cool news for us, because even with the debuff I believe that they are on the 2 shot range for those overhits. So here comes the first one. Let's see together. Will this be enough to bring it below 50%? Of course it is, and we just need one more. Totally lost my words there. Here comes the overhit number 2 for the Melmetal, and down they go, the shields and the Weezing for the end game. Absolutely crazy. Lucario in the next one. We need to get out of there as soon as possible. We have two pretty good counters for Lucario at the back with the Giratina and the Weezing, but Weezing is our main safe switch as it seems. I was thinking that Weezing could be our closer, but still kinda makes sense that you want to make it as a safe switch overall, keeping your Giratina as a closer for this line, because Giratina is on its origin form and it hits much harder. Trying to undercharge here, not gonna work of course, and now we just need to get to the next move, which is the play rough once again against that Florges. Florges pretty interesting, and can we reach to an overhit? I think we can, but TheRealKouna decides to let that go through, and down we go. Of course it makes a lot of sense because we have a very good counter to this Florges, and that is the Registeel, able to get to the Zap Cannon. I believe this knocks out for sure, right? No, it doesn't. Oh, they can still survive with a fairly good amount of HP. Lucario returns into the battle, and we have to block the move because this is most likely a Shadow Ball, and right after this we can overfarm a lot at the point that we have almost a double Shadow Ball ready to go. One for the Lucario, hopefully we can outspeed here. Here comes the ominous win for the ominous win once again, and that is a solid victory. Into the next one now with the Cavalier up on the lead. You hate to see it, and unfortunately we have to bring Weezing into the battle. They respond with Excadrill, and that is not looking that well for us, so we have to take the move. Hopefully we can survive, but still not that easily. Overhit connecting for big damage, and now this is Cavalier might be in a very bad position. Another overhit, they are gonna block this time, so we have totally flipped around this very bad lead with Weezing going for the double overhit, getting a shield in the process as well. Pretty crazy stuff happening. Perhaps the opponent was not expecting it, perhaps they were expecting something like a sludge or a brutal swing for the bait, but this is not happening. TheRealKouna knows better, able to get now to the Shadow Ball for big damage against this Cavalier. Down they go, and now they are shieldless with a Giratina of their own, trying to catch a move, but of course they back out, and that is another solid victory for TheRealKouna. Into the Grand Bull for the next one, and I believe that Zap Cannon is our main priority here. Of course Flash Cannon can work much better, but they managed to take the move. Pretty interesting call by the enemy, and a pretty cool one as well, because those Locons will never be enough even after the debuff with combat. They throw the close combat, they back out to their Giratina, and now we're just gonna debuff it and of course bring a very solid counter, and that is the game. I believe that the Charmer at this amount of HP is not a threat for our Giratina, so that can be pretty interesting. So let's see together. This Ancient Power is not gonna hurt at all. We can still take the move. Perhaps Shadow Force can be a better option, as it seems for the Giratina. Nobody blocks its moves, so yes, Shadow Force can definitely surprise the enemy, especially if you run Shadow Claw, which can get you not pretty fast, but still kinda fast over there. Play rough for the final time to finish of the Giratina. Down they go, also their shields are down, and at the back there is gonna be the Empoleon. They respond with the Grand Bull, and what did I tell you? With this amount of HP, it is no threat at all for the origin, and here comes the Shadow Ball for big damage. Hopefully one more to knock them out. Just gonna take the move, flexing here our non-existent bulk, and of course the Shadow Ball once again after the Hydro Cannon will connect, and that is a good game. Alexa with the Primarina up against our Registeel, and we just need to stay in because we absolutely wall it down with those Zap Cannons, trying to catch a move, but instead we get to the Focus Blast. They got Focus Blasted on the Hydreigon. Hello Hydreigon, goodbye Hydreigon. Those three heads were not that smart after all, and we're just gonna get now to the play rough with that Flygon coming in. What a spicy team that is, but I really enjoyed a lot, so we're just gonna keep going here with the Weezing against that Flygon. They thought they got, but instead they got one-shotted. Wow, the Cerberus of the Dragons absolutely got destroyed down. So at this point I believe we have to let that go through. It is gonna be a Dragon Claw, yeah, it seems like they want to bait for the move, but it is not working at all, so everything is going pretty rough for the enemy. Able to get now to the Zap Cannon, big damage and lethal. How many big damaging moves are we gonna see today? So we're just gonna let this one go through as well. Another Dragon Claw, not gonna fall for that trainer. The real Kuna knows better, and the real Kuna is gonna Focus Blast you out of the way. The Metal Trash Can up against the Good Boy, so we have to bring into the fight the weird flying factory thing, which is weird, just that weird. Anyways, we have up against us a Pokemon that is double weak to the fire move, and of course Overheat is coming up on double figures, so here comes, and even after the debuff I believe that it is just gonna knock out for sure. They decide to go for the double block, pretty interesting call here, even though they know we have the Reggie, so here comes the Night Slash, and they can spam those Night Slashes even with a boost as much as they want to. We're just gonna get there to the finishing move eventually, and that is gonna be a pretty cool thing for us, because now not only they are energy dry, we can still reach to the move finish of the season. And let's see what they have at the back. We still got the Giratina with 2 shields that can pretty much destroy down anything in the meta. At the back there is gonna be the Melmetal, and of course Giratina. Origin will connect the Shadow Ball. We just need one more. No reason to block here. I believe that Lucario is the only threat for us at this point. The real Kuna knows that, able to get to the Ominous Wind. Down they go, no boost. Oh, we took the boost, that is crazy. Even the Shadow Ball can be taken at this point, but they decide to go for the bait. And of course, we're gonna take this victory with a pretty flexy amount of boost up on our Giratina. Into the next one now, with a kinda weird lead against Tapu Fini, they decide to bring the extra drill as a safe switch. Driller gonna connect for big damage, but still not enough to farm us down with those mud shots. They definitely need one more of those charge attacks. Gonna let that go through. No, we are not. Shield popping up. The real Kuna wants that Giratina into play, because this Pokemon is pretty amazing and a very good counter for anything, as it seems, for the meta, even against fairy types. So Drill Run now will be taken. Not gonna spend a second shield. Makes a lot of sense, and we can try to farm down now with Reggie. Gonna try and seal the move, which makes a lot of sense. We know they have Tapu Fini, and we need that Tapu Fini out of the way as soon as possible. They got also the Genesect. Will they have the Technoblast on the fire type? This is pretty interesting to observe, and we can catch the move on the Weezing. Super good. Here comes the boom. I think it was fire. Totally missed that, but I think it was fire. It was not very effective as well, which makes a lot of sense. So here comes now another boom, this time with a play rough, and it is not gonna connect for big damage, but still it's gonna put it for sure at a point that we can get to the Zap Cannon and finish off this Tapu Fini. We are super close, I believe, to the Zap Cannon. Yeah, look at that. Even a double surf at this point will not be enough to finish us off. Surf number 1, surf number 2, we don't care. Even a triple surf would not have been enough to finish off the Reggie because of its amazing bulk, and that is gonna be an amazing ending to a very nice and wonderful video, trainers. Thank you for watching, trainers. Just be sure to leave a huge like before you go, subscribe to the channel if you already haven't, and if you want to support even more, well, joining as a member can always help with that matter. Thank you once again, and I hope to see you all into the next one. Take care, trainers.